Hello people, it is that time again for a Toxikk update video. Welcome back. This video is featuring build V0.9. We are in the ginger ginger build generation, which is kind of funny, but I guess it was the next logical step in their spice rack, if you will. This build brings about quite a few pretty cool features in the game itself, but more importantly, kind of a milestone in the beta roadmap for Toxikk. So I'm going to jump right in it. First of all, we're going to get to the highlight of this patch, which is the map Deck. D-E-K-K, as you can see from the big damn letters on the screen. That name sounds familiar to you. It probably should, because just look around and you'll feel kind of at home if you're a old school arena shooter, because it's the Deck, like Deck 18 from Unreal Tournament, the classic map. I didn't put two and two together until this patch came out and I started playing it. I was like, what the hell? This seems really familiar. And I was like, oh, it's the UT map. So that's kind of cool. But upon further looking into some of the community feedback, I've seen everything ranging from this is the best idea ever to this game has officially become creatively bankrupt. So I think it's a cool idea. I mean, this entire game is kind of a love letter to the arena shooter franchise, or arena shooter genre in general. So to add a beloved map from the genre is a pretty good idea to me, and the sci-fi theme fits it perfectly. So I'm quite happy with it. It plays great. It has everything down to the the elevators, the toxic bubbly water, whatever it is, in this Toxikk. In this game, the damages you, everything's great, even leading you up to the Hellraiser. So cool map, looks great, probably the best looking one, and because it has been play tested for a decade at this point, to me the best playing free-for-all map in Toxikk right now. So good job with the design. Visual design, that is, but definitely didn't have a whole lot of work to do on the gameplay. Having this map is kind of a gamble decision to me, but I think it's a good one, and I think it's something. It kind of opens the door for the community now that once the dev tools are out to make whatever maps they want, remakes or what have you. So I'm happy with it. I like it, and more maps are better. It can only be better with this type of game. A couple of minor things they added. They've added like an adjustable health warning bar that you can slide. So used to, it was really difficult. At least wasn't very obvious to see when you had low health, such as like 10 or 20. But now you can adjust that health to start flashing whenever you want, whether it be I have mine set at like 25. Seems, when you have a quarter of your health left, that's when you should start noticing and looking for health packs and stuff. So that's nice. Definitely something that I'd never really paid attention to in this game very much. So that's good for people like me. They've added some experimental multi-screen support. So if you're some of those people out there that are rocking, say, 3 1080p monitors or different resolution monitors in Affinity, if you're an AMD user or whatever you got, they've added some different configurations. Very highly experimental at this time, but if you're someone out there that uses that sort of configuration, then at least you have some support now. There's also a pickup that does max damage boost, which I've not found yet. Didn't really realize that was a thing until I started reading over the patch notes in detail. So, but that's cool. Another good drop, that you can pick up on the map. It just adds more gameplay variety, which is cool to me. And I'm sure that's added under like the overpowered, quote unquote, drops, like the extra health and stuff that you could turn off in the mutator. So if you don't like it, you can always turn it off yourself. One other minor change they added, as you can see from the big damn letters that started showing off this map, they've added an intro display for all the maps that tell you what map you're on. So if you had any doubt, you'll know. It actually is kind of useful for, I guess, between the temple maps, between Ganesha and stuff. So it looks nice, looks pretty classy. So I'm a fan of it. So we're here now with the Ginger build, and the only real question, as with every one of these patches, really is where do we go from here? So they've released kind of a new beta roadmap. If you remember, when this game first came out of beta in January, it was supposed to be, they were, you know, under the assumption it was going to launch around May. It's now October 22nd, and we're nowhere, I mean, we're nearing launch, but we're obviously 5 months late. So they revised their roadmap, and Reactor is apparently comfortable enough now to say that they're slating, you know, with the next maps and the next patches and that sort of thing. So, according to their update, there will be another map in a V0.93 build called Costello, and a new game mode called Area Domination, which I'm sure is some type of capture, you know, King of the Hill type game mode, which is really cool. They'll add playability through the older maps in V0.95 in that new game mode, and from there on out, it's going to be a targeting Q1 2016 release, but you know, that's always up to change, because who knows at this point. But the reason this build is so crucial is because this is the time when shit needs to start ramping up, and Reactor's even said it themselves. This is the time when marketing needs to really kick off. They need to start endorsing this game really hard, and I think they have enough content in this game now where they can actually benefit from doing that. Now, in my opinion, I think they should have kind of taken the momentum from the get-go and really pushed this game hard, even though they didn't have a lot out. If you look on, like, the first trailer to this game was pretty popular. I mean, it got a lot of views. A lot of people were excited about it because this was kind of this was before a lot of the other newer arena shooters now came out, and people were hyped for it. You're like, oh, great, I can actually relive that experience, and there's a modern equivalent to it. Wonderful. But they never really push it hard, and because of that, I feel like the player base dropped off tremendously to where, you know, as you can see here, there's only a couple people playing at a time. Now, this is the build. I strongly feel like that if they don't start pushing it now, they're going to be dead in the water by the time the full release comes out. And I understand they still have a lot of content to get out before full release, but the deal is they have a lot of polished content already out that is very playable, that's a lot of fun, and it's quite frankly better put together than a lot of AAA games. So if you can't snatch up customers now, there's no way you're going to, by the time it launches. I mean, I don't want this to get lost in development, you know what I mean? And that on its own would be, you know, a challenge. And I get why, you know, and I praise the devs in one way for not going after this, you know, oh, this game is 10% complete, we're going to, you know, market it hard and leave it at that in early access just to make a quick buck. They're definitely not after that. So thank you for that. But all I'm saying is I think they're going to have a rough hill ahead because of the elephant in the room that we've not been talking about. At least I've not mentioned explicitly. If I have, it's been with not directly. So Epic has had out for a while Unreal Tournament, which is the reboot of the Unreal Tournament series, made in Unreal Tournament 4, or not Unreal Tournament 4, Unreal Engine 4. This game is gorgeous. It's in pre-alpha, has a huge player base already. Dev tools are out. You know, people are already messing around in Unreal Engine 4. Subjectively, probably the best engine out there right now. Of course, you have, you know, some other engines that look better. You know, they can do some stuff with CryEngine that, to me, looks a little better than right now in Unreal Engine 4. But as the engine ages and people are able to mess with it more, I think this is going to be the best looking one to date. And they've already got so many, you know, tools for community creators, but you have that name associated with it, Unreal Tournament. If it weren't just for that, that would be hard enough to compete against, but Unreal Tournament's free. it's going to be free. It's always going to be free according to them. So the question is, how do you take a love letter to a game genre that costs $20 or more by launch with, you know, only a few maps, good maps, very good maps, and a bit different playstyle, but, you know, still within the same realm, and you're competing against the game of that subgenre with a tremendous, you know, resume and history of being the king, with all this content, all this stuff that's already so polished in early access, and with promises of all this stuff to come, and very sophisticated tools for the community to use already at this time, but way before it's, you know, even in beta. I don't know how they're going to do it. So this is going to be tough for them. And that's why I kind of feel like they started a little late on it. I feel like they could have maybe gained some ground before Unreal Tournament picked up. Because they didn't come in and snatch in that player base early, I feel like getting them back, getting them to jump ship, or at least just to try it out, is going to be damn near impossible. So that's why I'm voicing my concern now, because this is the time where they need to start picking it up, and even they say they're going to. So best of luck with that. I don't know what you're going to do about it, or the challenges you're actually facing, but good luck is all I can say. And I'm not sharing any of my personal opinions on Unreal Tournament. I've always liked Unreal Tournament. I can say this for sure. To me, the newest Unreal Tournament is a prettier game. In some ways, it feels more polished. It feels more, I don't know, AAA, but when you consider it's Epic and it's a AAA studio, and God knows how many hundreds of people have worked on this, you know, and it oughta, you know, it freaking better. But, you know, it's running on a newer engine. We're talking, you know, Reactor's not got that many people, and for all things considered, I like the way Toxikk plays better. I like the gunplay, I like the vehicles, I like the map flow, I like the character movement better than I do in UT4. Some of the art assets I like better in Unreal Tournament. Toxikk's characters models feel bland comparatively, but overall I do like Toxikk as a game better. It has a better mojo to me, and of course that's all going to come down to personal preference. But the fact of the matter is, the new Unreal Tournament's a good damn game, and all the Unreal Tournaments have been good damn games. So they're fighting against a just colossus of a title that costs no money with a shit ton of content. So good luck with it. I don't know what even the strategy could be, but it's going to be tough no matter what. On that note, I kind of wanted to say this. You can look down at the view counter for these videos. They don't get a terrible amount. I mean, the most popular one of these Toxikk videos have like, I don't know, like 500 something views, which for this is a tiny channel. We just do this for fun. Just to have that recognition, that's amazing. I mean, I've, you know, talked through comments back and forth with Toxikk developers and the community manager, which to me is, I mean, how cool is that, to be able to talk to people who were directly involved in making a game that you thoroughly enjoy? That's amazing to me. So I just wanted to say I love the product you're making, and if there's any way at all I could help in this, you know, ramping up process where you're going out and trying to you know, advertise this game and market this game, I would love to help. There's, like I said, you see, we're in the 230 range of subscribers. We're not, you know, just by making these videos, it's not getting out to a huge audience. But if there's any way that you could leverage me and the other guys on the channel to help y'all out, we would love that, because I mean, it's a good game. If it comes down to that, I like it, and it's made by people who I can tell, you know, care about what they're doing. So I'm all for it. So like I said, if there's any way we can help, I'd be glad to, whether that be I don't know, play dates, let's play, personal endorsement, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. But I just want to throw that out there. I'm not even talking like monetization. I would just like to help, just to help. So, but yeah, that's that about wraps it up for this update. Like I said, this is a pretty big number, not so much content. I mean, there was a good content in this patch, don't get me wrong, but this this signifies where shit needs to start rolling, and I hope to see it. And I want to see this game gain ground. I'd love to see, you know, several thousand people playing this game a day, even if I can just see a few hundred a day. If there comes a time where I can, you know, pop on at any time and there's, you know, a few full servers that I can just pop in and out of, that's what I would love to have that. So I wish Reactor luck. Good luck. Like I said, you're fighting against a behemoth, but if I can be of any assistance, feel free to hit us up. One last thing before I go, I would like to call you out, Reactor, on your last video that showed the deck map. Your outro is just like mine. your blur to the Toxikk intro screen is literally just like I do. I don't know if you guys did it first on like your trailer or something. If you did, I didn't mean to rip you off, but yeah, I don't care. I just thought it was funny, so I just wanted to point that out. But anyway, we'll see you either next patch or who knows, something with this game. See you later.